The Machine will release alongside Black Ops Cold War on November 13th, 2020. With this map, a new story would begin titled The Dark Ether Story, a sequel to the Ether story that ran from World at War to Black Ops 4. The map takes place at an abandoned Nazi research facility. Above you'll find an old bunker that's been boarded up, covered in snow and graffiti, a relic of the past lost to time. But below you'll find where the darkness was reborn, an old machine that made the dead rise again and restart events that were thought to be forgotten forever. The decompressive isotopic estrangement machine, also known as the Die Machine or just the Die, is the map's wonder weapon. This weapon has 5 different versions. These are as follows. The Die Shockwave will release a large shockwave of energy to blast away any zombie it hits. The Die Nova 5 will fire a ball of gas that'll slow down and kill any zombie that stands in it. The Die Cryo Emitter will fire a beam of ice to slow down and freeze any enemy that gets hit by it. The Die Thermoplastic will shoot a burst of fire that'll cause any zombie hit by it to instantly burst into flames. And the Die Electrobolt will fire a beam of electricity much like the Cryo Emitter. Elemental Pop is a new perk that makes its first appearance. Its main ability is to let your weapons have a chance to activate an AAT, regardless of its pack-a-punch level or if it even has one. When upgraded, it gains Electric Cherry's ability of creating an electrical barrier around you when reloading, along with a few other things like having any damage you do to a zombie also activate an AAT, or making your AATs reactivate 20% faster. Plague Hounds are a new enemy on the map. They're a mix between a Nova Crawler and a Hellhound. That's about it, they spawn normally along with being the max ammo round. The Megaton is the map's mini-boss. It's a giant radioactive zombie that has a ranged attack where it will shoot a blast of radiation at you that can linger on the ground. They have 2 phases, the first one being the one just mentioned, but when drained of health they'll split into 2. One called the Blaster and another called the Bomber. They do the same attacks but are much faster than the bigger version. An honorable mention of features are Armor, which returns from Black Ops 4 but is much better and a main mechanic now replacing shields. The Trial system returns from Ancient Evil and acts mostly the same way. The Dark Ether being a map mechanic that lets you warp into the Dark Ether, changing the environment of the map. And the Exfil, which lets you end the match every 6 rounds after round 10. And with that, let's begin the Black Ops Cold War round 100s.
Requiem actual strike team is on the ground.
This is where it started, strike team. Let's get some answers.
Target removed.
It's nice to finally be back on this game. I've actually gotten them round 100 on all the Cold War maps before, apart from Outbreak, but I'm excited to do them again as I wasn't as knowledgeable in zombies back then when I did them. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, would Outbreak be called 100 rounds or 100 worlds? We have to think about that more, but I guess for the sake of consistency, I'd call it just 100 rounds, but I don't know, yeah, I'll just have to think about it more. Anyways, I started with the Gallo and my filled up greatest Ether Shroud. Left spawn at round 6, buying my way through Knocked and getting stamina because, you know, it's right there and just speeds things up. Got some more points and made my way down to the facility to turn on the power along with going into the Dark Ether and building Pack-a-Punch. Once all that's done, I shoot 5 blue orbs around the room that'll transport me to the Coffin Dance Easter egg, which is a nice little break that'll give me Jug and a random gun. The gun I got from it was a legendary M16, which is nice because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to bring in the Gallo or the M16, so now I just kinda have both. A Megaton spawned in, but since I did all the main quests, I spawned with an epic rarity gun, so he just got obliterated. Killing him dropped a keycard that I can use in the weapons lab to grab a device that'll detect where the decompressive isotopic estrangement machine is. It's in Knock, so I go in there and turn it on, and I'll need to feed it zombies to fully charge it up. Once fully charged, I can blow the door off and get a free decompressive isotopic estrangement machine, but I don't get it yet because I wasn't entirely sure if I wanted to get 2 AATs or just the wonder weapon. Now I was thinking about if I wanted to just spin the box or get perks. Obviously I'm going to be getting the ray gun, but the chance of getting it on an early round is very low, so I started doing trials for the chance to get one early. And if I don't get it from the trials by round 30, I'll just spin for it. The Wonder Fizz won't actually spawn in until I think 10 rounds after you turn on the power, so I was just kind of waiting for that. Got a legendary on the trial, but unfortunately it wasn't the ray gun, but it was Quick Revive, which is, that's still pretty good. It's still a win, it's very good in this game. Round 16, I finally got the Wonder Fizz, so I bought Mule Kick and PhD. Mule Kick because I'm probably going to use the ray gun, the decompressive isotopic estrangement machine, and an AAT. Or maybe if the decompressive isotopic estrangement machine is shit on the later rounds, I might switch it out for 2 AATs because, you know, I'll just make everything faster. but I wasn't entirely sure yet because I've never actually used it on the later rounds ever since they added the Pack-a-Punch, so I'm not entirely sure how good it is on the later rounds. So for the next long while, I kinda just did trials and spun the box from time to time. Some may be wondering, why the hell would you want to get the ray gun? Well, some Treyarch employee had the amazing, insane idea to buff the shit out of the ray gun and make it actually good. Whoever that person was, they better have gotten a raise. It's probably the second best wonder weapon in this game. I think the one on Mauer is a little bit better. It took a little bit of time, but I finally got it in the best place you could have possibly gotten it on the map. In the help room. Now that I've finally gotten the ray gun, I'll get brain rot on the Gallo, and if the decompressive isotopic estrangement machine is shit, I'll trade it out for the M16. So here's the strat I did to run 100. You'd probably expect the penthouse camping strat, but I'm not about to camp on this game. All I did was just train in the yard. That's really about it. It's a really good training area. There's enough room to always make it around, do some like cool things. It's pretty nice. I realized relatively early that the decompressive isotopic estrangement machine just kinda isn't very good, which sucks because I really like it. So around 40 I traded it out for the M16. I was gonna get Deadwire just for the Megaton because, you know, Deadwire just for killing zombies is actually really shit in this game. But I decided Shatter Blast would just be better because the Megaton doesn't really spawn that often, and I bet the Ray Gun Gallo combo will take him out pretty fast. And Shatter Blast is fucking insane. It's definitely the best AAT in this game. It wipes out hordes in seconds. At round 43, my dumbass remembered the Rampage Inducer exists, and that sped up to 40s a lot. So for actually killing zombies, I flip-flopped around from like using AATs or just the ray gun. Like I'd use Shatter Blast and I'd usually take out the entire horde, but sometimes it'd leave like maybe 3-4 zombies behind and I'll just shoot them with the ray gun. And when turn was ready, I'd always use that, you know, it speeds up everything so much. Using PhD in this game is one of the most fun things you could ever do in zombies. Sledding around with it, like getting through small gaps is so much fun, and the blast from killing zombies is actually really good. If you get a good hit with it, you can kill like half a horde. The Megaton was never really an issue. I mean, he can be a pretty big danger if you leave him alive. He does a lot of damage. But the ray gun and Gallo put him down pretty fast. At round 65, my fucking smooth brain inept ass went down thinking I could just like slide in between these zombies, and then the one at the end by the tank there would just get blown up by PhD. That didn't happen. Did not happen. It's one of those downs that like you think in the moment is gonna be like top 10 best clutches of all time, but then turns out to be like top 10 most avoidable things. Zombies will smack the ever-loving shit out of you with that armor. They do so much damage. I think it might actually be, I think it's a 3-hit down without it past like around 55. I really wanted to do this flawless, but it just goes to show, just use your Ether Shroud if you don't got armor past around 55. There's not really much more to say, so I'll just get into the tier list. I fucking love this map. I gotta say, it got me fully in the zombies, making me want to go and seek out the older games, leading me to playing like BO3 and 2 and 1, and then like just making me want to learn all the like quest heavy maps like Origins and want to become good at the game so I can see how high of a round I could get to. So this map holds a very special place in my heart thanks to that. I love the layout, the inclusion of Nox is extremely well done, and I honestly wish they kind of kept doing something like that. Like either have Kino be in Mauer or just be out in the distance. The Megaton is one of my favorite specials of all time. I love that little guy. Play count's also pretty cool. The Pack-a-Punch camo is fucking insane. Oh my god, I love it. And this map was an amazing introduction to the next era of zombies. I also recently redid the Easter egg of this map, so I have a fresh mind on that, and my only complaint about it is that I wish it was longer, and going into the Dark Ether, I wish like that mechanic had a bigger role in it. Plus, this map has a absolutely, holy shit, it's like top 3 Easter egg songs. So we finally have another map going in favorites, going in the number 2 spot. I love this map so much, and I'm sad that it got fully obliterated at the end of the main quest. I also moved Ancient Evil and Dead of the Night up a little bit because after doing their main quest, it's just, I'm honestly still a little skeptic. I kind of want to put both of them in favorites. It's just like, I wish they had a bit of high round strat. I wish there was some way to like train efficiently on that map, on both of them. Getting to round 100 was pretty fun. The only hiccup was that stupid ass down. Surprisingly, it only took 4 hours, which is, it was really weird because the first time I ever got to round 100 on this map, it took 8 and I did the exact same strat, but I guess like back then when I did it, I was like, there was no mule kick, so I only had 2 weapons and I was like still a little scared to like go back and shoot the zombies, so a lot of the time the rounds took a long time, and I think it went down like 6 times back then, so I don't know. I thought it was gonna take 8 hours again training, so I'm glad it only took 4. And I did go to 101 because you can't actually exfil on 101 itself, because it has the same system of if you die on like round 100, it'll say you only survived 99 rounds, so they only let you exfil around above like an even number. Like you can't exfil on round 55, you can only exfil on round 56. So when you leave the match, it says you survived 55 rounds.